Hey guys, it's me, Crystal Polka Dude, here with another theory. This time we're going to be going into the realm of Rick and Morty, and this one just sort of open-ended, but I mean, you guys can leave your thoughts in the comments on how it is, but the theory is, why does Rick care about Morty? We've seen it multiple times in the band of the show. Rick does something and he ends up bailing on a lot of realities, but how come every time he bails on a reality, he ends up taking Morty with him? Like, if he can just replace Morty, why does he keep the one he has? That's the real question about how this works. Just like, if you can just replace a Morty with every dimension, explain why you're taking your Morty with you to every new dimension you go to. And that's where a lot of people are like, I've heard some people theorize this, they're all like, oh, Rick's original Morty was evil Morty and he bailed on him, and because he bailed on evil Morty's evil now, so since he doesn't want to bail on our Morty, so he becomes another evil Morty. And honestly, I know people are doing the whole evil Morty was Rick's original Morty, but I just don't really buy into that, you know? Like, it's just like everyone's just jumping on that bandwagon. I don't see it that way. One way. So we know our Morty is the Mortiest Morty simply from Rick being the Rickest Rick. And I've heard speculation in places I can't remember off the top of my head. I'll probably end up looking it up, but I think it was Channel Frederator. It might not have been Channel Frederator. If anyone's watching this and it was like actually them that brought this point up, then I'm sorry. I just remember it from a Channel Frederator video. But they were talking about evil Morty being the Rickest Morty and like Doofus Rick being the Mortiest Rick. I could possibly buy into that, but I just don't know if they're from the same original universe. Like, yeah, they're definitely not, because remember, Doofus Rick couldn't even get married, so they can't be from the same universe. But I mean, it's just interesting to look into, and like, here's where my theory comes in about why Rick cares about Morty. And that theory is that Morty is the one piece of his original universe that he has left. I know I'm gonna get a lot of flack for this, but we know Rick jumps dimensions, but if you notice, we have, like, photos of him with a baby Morty in the flashback, and supposedly trying to remember what it was the one with the Citadel of Ricks. I'm trying to think of it. Oh yeah, Close Rick Counters of the Rick Kind, that's what it was. In that episode, we see a flashback of Rick with a baby Morty, and like, Rick supposedly wasn't around during that time. And we see other flashbacks that kind of hint to a lot of other things going on. Just like, the timeline's all whacked up. But my theory is, something bad happened in Rick's universe, the original, our Rick's original universe, and so when bailing out of said universe, he ends up taking our Morty with him, and that's like the only reason he has any sentiment towards our Morty. It's just like, this was his original Morty, this is the one that he actually had from his original universe. And everyone's just like, oh, what about evil Morty? What about evil Morty? Well, if you notice, every time Rick, it was kind of convenient that Rick dimension hopped to a universe where both he and Morty died about the same time that all of the stuff with them dying in the other universe. And I don't think all timelines would be that consistent. So hear me out on this. This is a bit of a stretch in speculation, but what if Evil Morty was from the universe that Rick took his Morty to, and since you can't have two Mortys in the same universe, he threw that Morty out of his universe into practically the one that was falling apart in place of his Morty. This would explain why Evil Morty hates Rick. He got freaking dimension jacked by one. That's how it explains why he wants them all dead. It's just like, he had a stable dimension and everything. I mean, sure, his grandpa wasn't around, but he had a stable dimension and a stable life. And when you're like a 4-year-old and you just get thrown out of your own dimension, it really changes a person, and you're gonna have resentment to the person that threw you out of said dimension. But anyway, that's just my theory, and I'd love to hear yours down in the comment section, and I will see you guys next time. Bye.